Well, it's time for Transportation Talk with David. This is part of the CDL Group LLC. Let me make sure. Yep, we got our microphone on. I thought I had it. But anyway, I wanted to get with you guys today and come up with some good thoughts and ideas for a couple of shows we're going to have coming up. Now, here's one thing we want to talk about today, and I know it's going to be a very, very, very tight situation, but we do want to talk about detention. I promised you guys for 2 weeks I would delve into it just a little bit. Well, I'm going to try my best today to do that. Now, before we get started, though, I am recording on the 14th of February. Now, that is a Valentine's Day. So, hey, guys and ladies, please be sure to tell your friends, your family, your significant others, partner, tell them, hey, happy Valentine's. I love you. I appreciate you. And hey, you don't have to say I love you, meaning, in a relationship. I love my friend, you know, and I love my best friend. In the days gone by. Now I have a best friend for 32 years. So uh, let's make sure that those people know that we care about them. Hey, shock your fleet manager. Tell them, dispatcher, say, hey, happy Valentine's Day. Make them smile and laugh a little bit today. Hey, fleet managers, dispatchers, customer service people, load planners. Hey, tell those drivers when they call in, go, happy Valentine's Day. Now, also, I don't know if you guys realize it, but a couple of days ago, there was a little small sporting event on Sunday. And I don't know. I hope the outcome was to your favor. There had to be a winner, there had to be a loser. How about that overtime? And we want to salute the Kansas City Chiefs. I got friends that live in Kansas City, and I'm sure they were just jumping up and down for the two-peat. Now they're going to try to go for a three-peat. I know that feeling, but I know it in the college realm because my Bulldogs did a repeat, and then this year they barely missed it. But hey, that's just the way it goes. But I know Kansas City folks are just having a great time now, and that's good. San Francisco, hey, you showed up, you showed out, and it was just a little short at the end. Hey, hopefully they'll come back next year and they can have a rematch there. But enough of the sports. I love them. I love sports. I get excited about sports, but you know what else I get excited about? I get excited about our industry, transportation, transportation. And it takes us all. It takes the drivers, guys out there. You guys are running the roads. You're away from your families. Some of you are fortunate enough to come by the house during the week. Some of you are real fortunate and you get home every day. Then that is just fantastic. Some of you are out a week or two at the time. And I know it gets trying and things like that. But hey, we appreciate you guys out there running those roads. We appreciate you bringing the goods and services. It's not easy. For those of us that's been in this business a long time, for those of us that's been out there on the road, we know it's not easy. Yes, you see things different every day, but it's not easy. It's a mental, you got to be mentally strong. You got to be physically ready to take it on. But you know what? Every day is a new day. Today is Wednesday. I call this the third Monday in trucking. Remember, my first podcast or video cast was Mondays. You got to love them. Hey, every day's a Monday. Why? It's a new beginning. It's a day to do great things. So let's look at that also. So, without further ado, the CDL Group LLC and Transportation Talk with David are going to jump right in. So let's take a swim in the pool called, we're going to title this one Detention Retention. So let's talk about the first one here, the detention time. Um, Detention times has been an age-old nemesis here. Let me get the old microphone up here a little closer. It's been an age-old nemesis. I mean, as far back as I can remember, and even before that, people have told me it's always been about having to sit somewhere and not get paid. And everybody goes, well, it's just part of trucking. Yes, it is. It's part of trucking. But if we don't address this as an industry and as carriers, I'm afraid in this day and time and in this climate we live in, that it's going to be addressed for us if we're not careful. And we might not like what they're going to push down to us. As drivers, anything you can get is better than what you have now, right? Right. I do know that some carriers across the nation are experimenting with hourly pay. If you're already running local or something on more of a line haul, you're on that type of pay. I do know carriers are experiencing for some of their over the road drivers and regional, they are looking at more of a salary type position so that the drivers have a more clear understanding and their families know how to kind of budget and spend the money, which I think is a great thing if you can make it work. So basically, what we want to look at today is just we're going to skim the surface. There's no way to dive in deep without some people having some deep conversations. But I'd like to open the door just a little. And if you have a comment or if you have a suggestion, you can go to www.thecdlgroup.net, not that's .net, thecdlgroup.net. At the bottom, it says contact us. You can put your name, your phone number, your information. We're not going to sell you nothing. Nobody's going to spam you with email. I don't do that. I don't sell anything, but I talk a lot. Okay. Um, so if you put it down there, there's a place for comments. Type in what you think. Now, drivers, we all know, hey, well, I need to be paid from the minute I get there. Okay, let's get a little more. Let's get a little more out of the box. Let's think a little bit about some solutions that would be feasible that people could talk about. Basically, I just want this to start opening a dialogue. And I urge you guys out there, managers, driver managers, drivers, to share this and share our links, which is if you do the website, hey, the website has our Facebook link, it has our LinkedIn link, it has our YouTube link. So you got a one-stop shop there that you can get your information. So what do we need to do? Well, we always say our time is valuable. I know my time's valuable. I know your time is valuable because what you do and the services you provide, without it, the country would come to a standstill. So that's something we have to look at. Whether it be that when you pull in after a certain amount of time, and I'm not talking 2, 3 hours, I'm talking about a reasonable amount of time, 30 minutes, an hour. Heck, you got to take a 30-minute break somewhere, but a reasonable amount of time, then you are compensated. Maybe it's just minimum wage for that short period of time. I don't know. Um, I do know this is not the best time in the world or in the trucking world to be talking about things like this because of the truckers' economy, as I call it. It's still down skimming on the bottom due to lower rates, supply chain, supply and demand, things of that nature. As soon as this thing turns, and we have people saying it's going to be next year before it turns. I've heard people say, midsummer, late summer, early fall, you'll start seeing a turn up for it. So as soon as it turns, then we're going to see some things that we can start asking for and demanding. And once we get them in place, they should stick. But let's have a conversation about that. What do you think needs to happen? Does it need to be kind of graded in? Do we need to get on to some shippers? Do we need to get with the carriers? What do we need to do to be fair and equitable for our time? Um, and to, get things moving so we can get in and out. If people are paying for that, they're going to be more apt to get us back on the road where we're making our mileage pay. Because let's face it, that's where we make the money as a driver. As a carrier, we make the money also when we're moving that freight because that's what we're in the business for, is to move freight. So we need to, I just wanted to start a dialogue. I'm not going to go off on one end or the other to right this minute. Um, but I want people to understand we all know that there are things that we need to look at. And with your help, by commenting in professionally, because you are professionals, either from the carrier side or from the driver side, because we're all in this together. There's no sides. Everybody always says this is side. We're all a team, but you have the people in the field and you have the people in the office. Um, so let's see if we find something that might be a common theme. Again, www the cdlgroup.net. Go to the very bottom, comment, send. It'll come straight into me. I'll read some of those comments the next time we meet. I am looking for a couple of people, and I have sent out some feelers to some people to come in and sit with us, and let's have some discussions back and forth to give you more knowledge. Our goal here is to come up with solutions, let you have a voice, whether it be whatever you want to know more about, educate, learn, teach, motivate. That's what we do. I've been into several carriers over the past couple of months, and we have had great times motivating people in their groups. We have had great times on mentoring them, coming up with um, old ideas refreshed and brought up into our current time. New ideas that we said, let's make this work and see where it goes. And it's just a great time to do that because there's going to come a time where we've got to really get things back into full swing. Now, what does the tension have to do with retention? Now, guys, last week we spent a whole segment, probably 25 minutes, talking about retention because I had two or three drivers want to know what is this all about retention? Why is it important to me? And I'm going to reiterate some of the things we talked about last week. Number one, the first thing is I'm going to talk about is we want to say that you staying on your job, the longer you can stay, the more valuable you become and the more money you're going to make. So it don't look like it. Well, think about this. If you, and I'm going to use the same thing I used last week, nothing has changed. If you come into a company and you've been there for, let's say, 6 months, a year, and they start doing and they're doing things you don't like anymore, or you just are kind of tired of it, and you want to jump and change. Keep in mind you're going to lose a half a month to a full month of income. I have looked at a lot of applications, and there are times when I can group 100 applications, and 65% of them, those drivers change jobs 2 to 3 times in a year. I don't understand how they're making money, sustainable money, saving money. Because time you get going and get into the system and you start making some money and you leave, you start all over. Well, let's look at it this way. You leave your job, the following week you go to orientation, you sit there for 2 or 3 days, you get $400 or $500. Yeah, wow. Then you go out and run for a day or so. Then it's the weekend. And then the next week, they stack you with a couple of pre planned loads because they're trying to see how you're going to work. They don't know you yet. So, right there, it's 2 weeks of good income you've lost. Then it comes into that third week. So, it's easy to say, hey, when you change jobs, you lose some income. That goes for people in an hourly or a salary job, too. So, when you get, when things don't go your way, let's stop and think about it. Let's see, what is this going to cost me? Is this a good idea? If you have an issue, here's what I like to tell drivers, and I don't know your company. There is a chain of command in most companies, especially the medium to larger size companies. A lot of you haven't worked for those carriers. You go, I don't want to work for them. Well, here's the thing: some are good, some are more of a robot type machine mentality. But if you have a chain of command, before you go jumping, ask, hey, is there anything I'm doing that we can do better so we can get more miles? And I always ask, is there anything I can do? So that's the one thing you want to do. Start asking questions. Don't put blame on the people. Don't be defensive. Have a good conversation and go, hey, is there somewhere a happy medium where we can get, it's a solo 25, 3,000 miles a week? I know there's going to be weeks where we only go 23, but that following week, can I get 3,000? Is there a happy medium there? I've got to support my family. And the same thing would go along for other teams or whatnot. Local drivers don't seem to have that problem because they know right where they're going. They run a certain route. They see certain people. Your LTL carriers just run in between points. So it's our over the road regional type drivers. We need to come up with plans to be in sync with each other. And for you fleet managers and you driver managers, listen, if you have drivers coming to you out of sincerity, show them that empathy. Let them know you understand what they're saying and that you're going to get with someone that can help come up with a plan to do better. And then do it. Don't tell them that you're going to do it and then you go all silent on them. Just do it. Just do it. That's all that needs to happen. So, we know that detention affects retention because when you're sitting there somewhere and the more you sit, let's just face it, the more that blood starts boiling, the more these little veins here and up in here popping out, and you're getting stressed. And then the next thing, you got your phone in your hand, and 37 carriers are saying, we want you to come to work. And we know that. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's nice to be wanted. But guys, before you make that decision, make sure of what effect it's going to have. And the retention side of it for you trucking companies, guys, in the carriers, I'm speaking to VP presidents, and I don't know if any are going to listen to little old me, but have a department that we can go to as a driver. Have a department that, and then when I say department, I'm not talking about 27 people. I'm talking about have maybe 3 people. But that's all they do is they talk and get the pulse of the driving force. And then you need to have someone that heads that department that actually can put teeth in it so that when it's time to come and make decisions that they don't get run over. And I'm not being ill will to anybody. It's just we want to defend our positions, but that we can have a good conversation. So they have teeth in it. So somebody has some authority. And then we come and figure out, is there a solution to this problem? And we bring that driver into the conversation. So there's a way to handle these things. If your company doesn't have a retention department, I'm going to say very bluntly, you're not retention compliant. You go, well, that's not a real thing, David. No, it's not, but it's a David thing. We're safety compliant. We have to have recruiting compliance so that they get enough drivers. But why aren't we retention compliant? Why don't we focus on saving some drivers from jumping ship, saving the company money, and making it a more formidable company because you have people there that know you care. It's not just I say I care. Now, the last thing, guys, is this on retention. When you're getting recruited, if somebody says, hey, we treat you like family, no, they don't. A dysfunctional family, maybe. But I don't go to work to be treated like family. I go to work to be treated, professionally, respect, loyal, and to be valued for my knowledge or my skills. Um, if they tell you they're treating you like family, say, "Are you going to? Can you fire your family?" Well, no, I can't fire them. I might not like them, but I can't fire them. So, be sure that you are not falling for the cliches. Do your research. Don't just look on Google and see what reviews are. Get out there and talk to some people. If a company can't give you 5 different phone numbers and you pick who you want to call to say, hey, how is it over here working for your company? Then I probably would say, look somewhere else. And you say, well, they're going to have the 5 best. Sure, they are. But they don't know who you're going to call. If you see a truck, ask the driver. Now, keep in mind, don't just talk on one driver. You got one that might be the happiest guy in the world. Well, he just got, everything's going his way this week. Then you got the other guy who's so mad because he had to break down, he had this and that happen. So make your decision based on information, not just on what that internet says. I think we're going to have to wrap this up. We're getting close to our time. But guys, I want to tell you, I appreciate everything. I hope you'll share this. I hope you will tell people to follow us on our LinkedIn page. You can go to it at the CDL group. You can go to our website, click on the LinkedIn icon, click on the Facebook icon. Follow us every day. We try to put some positive information out for you guys. If you guys have pictures, or if you guys have comments, or if you guys have something that you've done that achieved, I don't care what company you work for, um, send it in to us. We will promote it because that's part of your retention. You need to get that reward and recognition for you doing a great job. We all like that. Human beings love that. We might be grumpy and go, we don't care about that. But deep down, yes, we do. So until next time, guys, as I always say, be safe, get home, love on your family when you get there, hit the road, take care of your fleet managers, and hopefully they're going to take care of you. But above all, be safe. Don't drive fatigued. Don't talk on the phone. We want you to arrive back home alive. Until next time, I'm David with the CDL Group, and this has been Transportation Talk with David. Hey, have a great day, and it's the third Monday. Let's make it a good one.